shall be entertaining from our members of the audience. Alam niyo po, napaka-reassuring nung shinare ni Ms. Maria Ressa. Alam ko po na marami tayong gustong gawin pero meron tayong certain limitations. And it's interesting that such information can be made available for all of us. Mayor Pai and Dr. Eric? Kung meron po kayong katanungan, meron po tayong dalawang mics dito sa unahan. We shall be entertaining 2 to 3 questions. And then the rest of you can write your questions in the piece of paper that you can find in your tables or whatever paper that you have. Write your name, where you come from, contact numbers, including your email address, and the Climate Change Commission will get back to you. Meron po ba tayong mga questions? Yes, sir. Please state your name, where you're from, and then your question, and who you're addressing your question to. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I am Councilor Saldi Ocon of Cagayan de Oro.
Hello.
I'd like to address this question to Mayor Pai.
Hello po.
Okay.
Good noon na.
Yeah, ma'am. Climate change na tayo.
Oo nga po.
Okay. So meaning there is no immediate solution. There is no any immediate solution to solve this problem.
Yes.
Though the government is now trying to rehabilitate our mother nature. But when we see rehabilitation is not easy because we need, time before we'll go back into normal. Now, based on the scientist report in US, that this unpredictable weather condition is due to global warming, which is actually caused by, human being. Indeed, human, we are now riffing on what we had sowed before. So my solution, how to prevent this, climate change. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Sir, CDO po, no? CDO ho. Doon po yung Sendong, tama po ba? Sendong, I actually was there right after it happened. It happened Christmas, correct? Right? So I would think, pumunta po ako ng CDO, kasama po yung dad ko ho. Taga-CDO din po siya. December 27, nakita ko po yun talaga nangyari. And that's really what climate change and natural disasters, that's what it does. It really destroys communities. One thing lang po that I saw was, ang dami pong mga communities na nakatira by the water. And dun po dumaan yung flash floods nung nangyari po yung Sendong. That's why all of you are here. As LGUs and as leaders of your towns, you have to be able to identify the vulnerable areas where your residents live. We talk about assessing vulnerability, but you also have to prepare your town. Tinatanong niyo po kasi na tayo po lahat nagko-contribute sa global warming. Totoo po yan. Every individual in this room, pati po ako, lahat po kami dito, we all contribute to global warming. But that also means that we already are aware of it. So kung alam na po natin na nangyayari na po yan, it's really our job in the LGUs, especially on the local level, na tayo ang mag-assess kung saan yung vulnerable areas. Kasi pag, let's just say, with the Sendong one and CDO, had the LGU, I'm not putting a blame po, pero had the LGU identified na yung areas na yun ay matatamaan po ng flash floods when the time were to come, siguro po na-relocate niya na yung mga communities na natangay po ng flood. Diba? And it's so small. Now, that's that's the bigger parang responsibility we now have to take part in. What we can do as individuals, very simple. Kasi tinatanong nyo rin po, sir, kung ano yung kaya natin gawin para labanan ng climate change. Climate change is inevitable. Mangyayari po talaga yan. But as individuals, tayo po, Very little, very small things, small steps we can do. One, we have to be more smart when we use energy. Ang ating electricity. Kapag nagcha-charge po ba kayo ng mga cellphone ninyo, iniiwan nyo yung charger sa socket? Hindi nyo tinatanggal pagkatapos? Di ba ganun po, may habit po tayo, hindi natin natanggal? Let's conserve our electricity. Another one is our usage of water. Pag gumagamit po tayo ng tubig, pag nagsisipilyo, iniiwan nyo po ba yung tubig nakabukas? Habang matagal po tayong mag-toothbrush? I mean, these are small steps. And these don't exactly play a role individually, but as a whole, it will. If we learn to conserve and save our resources, when it comes to natural disasters, it all plays a role eh. So we, as individuals, marami po tayong kayang gawin. And kailangan po, tanungin din ninyo, maging proactive. You have to be proactive. Kung nakikita nyo po sa mga LGU or sa mga leaders sa inyong lugar, hindi po sila as proactive with these measures, tanungin nyo po sila, engage them in dialogue, engage them to talk to you about ano ba yung mga solusyon nila sa mga issues na ganyan. So yun po, marami po tayong solutions, marami din po tayong pwedeng gawin.
Thank you, Mayor Pai. Do you have any more questions from our audience? Actually, I remember from a speaker before, he said that the best solution to climate change is for all human beings to just die. Because we are the source of all the effects of climate change. Yes, sir. Please state your name and your question and who you're addressing your question to. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon.
Noon, Mayor Ray Navarro of Compostela Valley, victim of BOFA. If we look at the world map, kung titingnan po natin ang mapa ng mundo, tuldok lang po ang Pilipinas. Bakit tayo ang nagkukumahog na mabigyan ng solusyon? Ito ng tinatawag na climate change o global warming. Baka naman tayo ay biktima lang. Baka naman hindi tayo kasali sa mga gumagawa ng problema at tayo mismo ang tumatanggap ng epiktong hindi naman natin ninanais. Every time na pinag-usapan kasi ang global warming, every time binanggit ang climate change, para bang binibigay sa mga Pilipino ang pangungonsensya. Kasalanan nyo, pinutol nyo mga kahoy. Kasalanan nyo, ganito, nagsusunog kayo. Ngunit, saganang akin lang po, ma'am. Sunugin mo man ang buong Pilipinas, hindi pa rin makakapagpainit sa buong mundo. Ibalik mo man ang Pilipinas sa Stone Age, hindi pa rin mapapalamig ng Pilipinas ang mundo. Yung mga malalaking bansa ang dapat sigurong makonsensya. Hindi tayo, dahil biktima lang tayo. Tinatanggap natin itong mga bagay na ito na hindi dapat napunta sa atin. Thank you.
Do you want to say something? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Maria Ressa.
Sir, tama ho kayo. The United States is one of the largest countries globally that raises global warming, right? Indonesia, our neighbor, has the forest fires push out so much gas that it increases global warming. But that's a given. We can get angry about it, but in the end, the storms will still come. And I guess that's the way I look at it. I led our political leaders. Secretary Sering was in Warsaw, Poland, to negotiate these climate change rules. They can talk about it at the top level all they want. But here, I don't know about you, but starting in 2009, life changed with the storms. 2009 was Ondoy. In less than 24 hours, we had a month and a half's worth of rainfall drop. That's never happened before. Pablo in 2012 changed. It's like the path of the storm completely changed. And Yolanda is like nothing we've ever dealt with before. So I guess for me, I live here. I don't plan to leave. How am I going to deal with these typhoons? the best way I know how is to help with information. But you are in the front line. Let's talk about Pablo and Compostela Valley. Pablo killed, there were more than 1,000 people dead or missing after December 2012, right? The evacuation center that they brought the people to in Compostela Valley was in a hazard zone. And the very people who tried to find safety walked into a place that was less safe than where they were. That's in your control. So let's do what we can and let our political leaders fight it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You can be angry about it, but we can't. I can't do anything about it right now. I can write about it, and I have. But in the end, I will do what I can to be ready for the next storm. And I think that's what we're saying.
Thank you, Ms. Maria Ressa. Do you have any more questions? Let me address a question to Dr. Eric. Sir, sa tingin ko po marami-raming members ng LGUs yung nakinig talaga na importante talagang magkaroon ng hazard mapping. It's very important for us to have information. Pero marami po sa ating mga members of the LGU, maraming overlapping responsibilities. Halimbawa, kapag part ka ng pagmenro ka, hindi lang naman tungkol sa hazard ang iyong kailangan trabahuhin. What's your advice to our members of the LGU on how they can go past that intimidation of gathering information? Because to come up with a hazard map will not happen overnight. You have to get a lot of information from different sectors of your city or municipality. Where do you start?
Hello. Yes. Maybe you could start by doing the basics, doing exactly just that, no? Not just getting information, but being also to share the information that we have. I think that's the key to all of the things that we wanted to do to address the problem of disasters and climate change. And one of the things that really hamper us from delivering delivering information is getting it to us and putting it in a form that is understandable to people. So Ms. Maria earlier demonstrated the various platforms by which we can engage people and show them their vulnerabilities and the power of information in making sure that people's concerns are addressed through rescue, through relief. But one of the things that we should try to hurdle is to think that this information is not meant to be kept. These kinds of information are meant to be shared so that it will be more effective on the longer term. On the shorter term, maybe we need to know where the evacuation sites are in pre-disaster, during the disaster event, where to pre-position our response teams, post-disaster, where to send relief, and during the rehabilitation efforts, where to concentrate so that it would yield better results in terms of a more rapid redevelopment, putting the right places and at the right time, and making sure that all of our development activities are, let's say, climate change resilient. People would seem to, but what people seem to understand is that when we have these maps, it's, especially the geohazard maps, sometimes they think of this as a sort of a blackmail. When I say blackmail, sometimes you use this as a way to scare people. Sometimes it's meant to scare investors because prices of properties might go down if you show these maps. You have these concerns, but on the other hand, we also have to look at the benefit of showing this kind of information as well. Because it's all about empowering people through better information so that people can make better judgment.
And we have a follow-up statement.
I was just going to add, there are two other things that will be useful to you. When I was a correspondent in Japan, I looked at the way their civic service ran drills with their people. They knew, grabe sila, both for earthquake and now tsunami, they do million people drills. If this happens, where do you go? Each of our people, each person in your community should, and this is, for me, it would be ideal. Every person in your barangay, in your community, should know that if this happens, I will go here. You should know the people will be evacuated where. Tacloban, Leyte had 220,000 people. They should have relief goods for this many people. For how long? How long will it take to go out? These are just the first immediate plans, which I'm sure both CCC, the OCD, and your own units will deal with. But beyond just knowing the dangers, what do you do after that? This is where we could have done better after Yolanda. It should take 24 hours for you to get help to the people in your area. Why? Because they can stay alive under crushed beams for 24 hours, but after that, they will die. So you need to make every second count, and the only way you can do that is if you prepare. Sa news po, we have something we call the 7 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. When I deploy into war zones, I have a checklist. I know what each member of the team is going to do. Disaster risk reduction requires that kind of planning from us. And I wish you really great luck. We need you to do that.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we do not have any more time. A big round of applause to our speakers for this morning. And once again, if you have questions, you may get in touch with our speakers by writing your questions. Ms. Maria Ressa, could you give away your Twitter handle, and Ms. Bai and Dr. Eric, if you have any? Your Twitter ID?
Mine is at Maria_Ressa.
Akin naman po ay at Mayor Pai Alvarez.
Dr. Eric?
I have a phone number, but at this day and age, I still have my email address. It's paringit@gmail.com.
All right. So just please write your questions and we'll forward them later on. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. At this point, I'd like to call on once again, habang po tayo ay nagsasalo-salo ng isang masarap na pananghalian, please welcome once again Mr. Noel Cabangon. By the way, later on this afternoon, your moderator shall be Miss Angel Jacob. It has been a pleasure being with you this morning, and I hope po na ma-realize nating lahat yung responsibility na nasa ating mga balikat. Sinabi po natin noong 2009 that we wouldn't let another Ondoy happen. Parang nakailang beses na pong may mga typhoon sa sumunod. Ayaw na ata nating umabot ng 5 yun. Tama, Noel? Right, maraming salamat po once again. I'm Kathy Untalan Vital. Have a great afternoon. Buksan po natin ang ating mga isip at puso para po sa ating bayan ito. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Kathy. Actually, for environmental awareness and different issues regarding the environment, you can also utilize the arts para po maengganyo yung mga tao to listen, because art, particularly music, is very effective in conveying message to the people. So, narito po isa kong sinulat na kanta. Nung after ng bagyo ng 2004, meron pong bagyo na 3 bagyo na dumating sa atin at tinamaan po yung area ng Quezon, Aurora, and they were also heavily devastated. And tapos sunod-sunod na po yung yung mga bagyong dumarating towards the end of the year. Alam na ho natin na yan po yung pattern talaga. So this one I want to share it with you because of all these tragedies that we have experienced, talagang tinanggap na natin that our country, our people, we are very resilient. And lalo pa pong tumitibay, and we've shown that the resiliency over and over again, and even our bayanihan, yung pagtutulungan ay pinapakita po natin. Wala na po tayong problema doon. Siguro, awareness na lang po talaga and preparedness sa mga darating pa na mga bagyo sa ating bansa. Anyway, here's a song I want to share with you. Awit ng Bahaghari. It's a song of hope. It's a song of solidarity. And para po sa inyo lahat. Darating din ang bukas, sisikat din ang araw sa kalangitan, hawiin ng liwanag ang mga ulap, mga agam-agam at mga alinlangan. Babalik din ang dating sigla, usbong din ang mga bihing ipinunla, manunumbalik ang ngiti at saya, at mapapawi kawalang nadarama. May pag-asang darating, hatid ng ihip ng hangin. May pag-asang darating, hatid ng bahaghari. May pag-asang darating, kasama mo ako sa mga paghamon mo. Kasama mo ako sa mga pangarap mo. Microphone. Abot tanaw ko ng bagong umaga, abot kamay ko ng bagong pag-asa. May pag-asang darating, hatid ng ihip ng hangin. May pag-asang darating, hatid ng bahaghari. May pag-asang darating, hatid ng ihip ng hangin. May pag-asang darating, kasama mo ako sa mga paghamon mo. Kasama mo ako sa mga pangarap mo. Kasama mo ako sa mga paghamon mo. Kasama mo ako sa mga pangarap mo. Salamat po. May yung microphone sa monitor. Hindi po yung gitara, yung microphone. Again, I want to share with you another song. Ito po yung tungkol po sa ating mga dreams, mga panaginip po sa ating bayan, sa ating bansa. And I know we've been talking about this ever since we remember, probably. But up to now, we still do dream of the things that, something that what we want for our country to be. It's not for us, it's not for you, but it's for the generations to come. Check. Pamagat po nito ay panaginip. Maraming salamat po sa sa inyong paanyaya for this wonderful event. And I know this is a very important event and it's really an honor to be here. Thank you.
Check, check.
Meron ako isang magandang panaginip at sana'y dumating isang umaga na wala ng mga problema. Ang paligid ay kay sigla, walang pangambang nadarama. At paglabas mo sa kalsada, ay ngiti ang iyong makikita sa bawat mukha. Darating din ang araw, sisikat din ang umaga. Ngingiti rin ng langit, maghihilom ang mga sakit, hanggat ating mga paay patuloy na nakasayad sa lupa. Meron ako isang magandang panaginip at sana'y maghanap. Isang bukas na lubos ang pag-asa. Ang mundo ay mapayapa, bawat bansa'y may pag-unawa't mawawala ang puot at galit. Mananaig sa puso at isip ang pag-ibig. Darating din ang araw, sisikat din ang umaga. Ngingiti rin ng langit, mawawala ang puot at galit, hanggat ating mga paay patuloy na nakasayat sa lupa. At paglabas mo sa kalsada, ay ngiti ang iyong makikita. Mawawala ang puot at galit, mananaig sa puso at isip ang pag-ibig. Darating din ang araw, sisikat din ang umaga. Ngingiti rin ang langit, maghihilom ang mga sakit. Darating din ang araw, sisikat din ang umaga. Ngingiti rin ang langit, mawawala ang puot at galit. Darating din ang araw, sisikat din ang umaga. Ngingiti rin ng langit, maghihilom ang mga sakit, hanggat ating mga paay patuloy na nakasayad sa lupa. Oh, oh. Maraming salamat po. Continue dreaming of a better tomorrow. Sa alang-alang po ang mga darating na salilahi, new generations. Thank you.
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show.